Welcome back, Smooth in Crypto. I'm your host, Maxwell Smooth. It is day 100 in TitanX. Hey, clap it up. Clap it up. Day 100 days of flawless operation, right? We can't ask for anything better. It has been such an amazing ride, right? We have had so much bullishness, so many different people, right, coming in and out of the project, right? Tons of new projects being built on top of TitanX, right? We have had multiple people really build some cool stuff, and we're going to continue to be building cool stuff. And nonetheless, right? I mean, the elephant in the room is Jake X, right? Jake X has absolutely ripped faces off, and this is the only the first meme coin. We've had some drawback, right? But from the low to the high, right? We saw like 150 thousand%. Insane, right? And although I wish I got in, but nonetheless, right? I didn't want to get in because I've been rugged too many times on meme coins, and this was the first one put out, so I'm really excited for the other one that's coming out, TitanX, right? So shout out them. We're gonna be they're going to do some really cool stuff. But the thing I will say about Jake X is, although it's a great meme coin, we have had no types of, added benefit to Titan X. And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to Titan X, because we need, we need, um, benefits to it, right? Although the meme coin is awesome and this and that, right? It doesn't have any types of bind burns or any types of taxes that's going to help Titan X. I mean, a big thing is, right, it's just going to be able to swap for it, and that's cool, I guess, right? But nonetheless, it's still very, very early on in it, and people are complaining about they missed it, right? Obviously, you missed a crazy run up from the low, right? But it's still $500,000 market cap, so very early. Nonetheless, it's pretty tough to not have FOMO when you talk about where it is right now. But it's all good. I'm not tripping over anything, right? If it benefits the liquidity pair of TitanX, that's all I really care about, truly. But yeah, so let's just get into some of the stats. So, estimated TitanX at the end of a miner is 1.175 billion. This is absolutely massive. We are slowly but surely dropping. So, I cannot wait till I look at the estimated TitanX at the end of a miner and we do not see a Billy anymore. And it should be in the next month or so, and then we'll drop past that. Let's just bring the white paper up so we can just double check. And if you guys know when we'll drop under a Billy, just put it in the comments, because I know the daily update doesn't have specific days that it's going to be doing it, but um, so we can just do the math real quick. So you guys won't see it, but 280 days, or I'm sorry, so 1 billion divided by 280. So we needed to hit 3.571 million per day, right? And we're at 5.653 per day. So we have a little bit of ways to go, but nonetheless, it is slowly dropping, right? And it's going to be roughly, oh, my bad. Here's the docs. So what did I say? 3.5. So let's just call it right here, right? So right at the 280 day, we should see under a billion, which is absolutely massive. I want to see this drop even more, right? But it is what it is. The amount of Titan X that's coming out in the future is very much so dropping a lot, and I'm loving seeing it. And we have a ton of projects being built on top of Titan X, which makes it even more bullish. And a lot of them are going to do a lot of great things. February is going to be a massive month for Titan X, nonetheless. Market value at the end of a miner is 1481.65, roughly 198%. So the other day when we were up higher, right, at like 5017, 5018, this was in the 300% range. So it just shows that we have so much price potential, and these max miners, although right now it seems like, will I really do this for a 3x? Just don't be stuck on what is actually happening right now versus what can actually happen in the future. So max miners are very, very profitable, especially when you take into account coin accumulation. Coin accumulation is the most important thing, in my opinion, and we are continuing to coin accumulate. Period, and that's all I'm worried about. So I think a 3x is still pretty awesome, right? We're at 501262. So I don't think that that price is going to be the price in the next 280 days if you started a new max miner today. I absolutely don't think it's we have too much stuff coming out, and there's going to be too much of a price shock and inflation shock to do it. So early adoption amplifier is 7.17%. Current miner Titan per day of mining is 5.653 million. So T rank is 261,000. So 261,000. So it's a lot of coins still coming out, but nonetheless, it's not 8.8 million like we started. So this is a very, very quick dropping thing. I mean, you see it, right? It's a splashdown. So day 500, we are going to be way less than 2 million per day, which is huge, absolutely massive. So, like I said, I'm waiting until we hit that 800 mineable per day at the end of a cap. So, um, yeah, it's insane. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome to see, but you know, let me just pull this up over here. Um, Payouts, right? Almost 100,000 in the 8-day payout, 340,000 in the 28-day payout, 154 in the 90-day payout, 5.677 million dollars in the 369-day payout. So we still have a ton of time, right? We have 269 more days until the 369-day payout. I really am wondering what this is actually going to be in the future, right? Because we have so much time left. 27% is, you know, at the end of it, right? We have 73 more percent of time for this 369-day payout, and we already have 5.677 million. So 888-day payout is 2.523 million. So I think, right, if say you have $1,000 of TitanX in here at the current price, you still will get a decent percent back, right? I know the dilution from other projects and this and that is out, but if we look in here, right, the amount of staked TitanX is 13 trillion, and it was roughly 20 trillion. So a huge thing, huge accomplishment is 8 trillion in the bot protocols. And if you haven't looked at this, I'll just run through it real quick. Total number of liquid TitanX semi-locked inside of bot build on build on TitanX. So I'm just going to say bot TitanX slash protocol liquidity pools and or inside of bot decentralized smart contracts and or staked by decentralized build on top of build on TitanX protocols. So we've officially hit the 8 trillion mark, right? That is a massive side of it. And overall, right, with less staked, our stakes have became a lot more valuable. So it's still looking very good, right? I want to see this liquid number drop, but it's gonna take time, right? It's gonna take time for it to have the inflation shock that we know that it's gonna have for hyperdeflationary mode. And nonetheless, right, 13 trillion in staked amount is way better than 20 trillion in staked amount if you're wanting payouts. And so I'm very, very hype on that. Liquid amount is 10 trillion, 10.10, 10.5 trillion. So it's a lot, right? and I'm not saying it's not a lot, right? But we have a lot of time to go, and we're in day 100, so it's going to take even more time for the amount of inflation to go down, right? But if we go to Mike Dean's dashboard, shout out Mike Dean, of course, he's absolutely putting in work. Slow growth is better than no growth. 149 people in the past day, right? If we look in the next 90 days, and I say this before, right? So it's still very high, right? I'm not going to lie. We still have a lot of days where it's a lot of coins coming out, but right. So one, two, three, 4, 5. So we have 5 days in the next 90 days where we print a trillion tokens. And if you check down here, it's slowly dropping, right? It's going to be very, very slow growth of coins coming out. And obviously, we have the Megalodon day of the 280 day, but huge, huge amount of inflation not coming out, right? A ton of inflation came out in December and January. So I'm very interested to see where we go with the amount of inflation that we do have coming out. But nonetheless, right? Slow growth is better than no growth. We have a lot more people staking, right? th- than before, which I really like. Every day this staked amount goes up. People realize what we have going on and how many projects are actually being built. So super bullish, very hype. Um, let's go into the buy and burn. So $13.98 million, 10.3, $10.25 million. So we've been floating above that 6,000 ETH mark for quite a while now, and it's arguably the most bullish thing that I could say is 6,000 ETH in this is insane. 4,458 ETH in the V1 is insane. So we still have a ton of buy and burn in here, which at the end of the day is arguably the most bullish thing is that we are not running out of this buy and burn, right? And we saw it have some crazy amount in there. Uh, Dollar wise, people are looking at the dollars more so than the actual coins. But, it's very, very interesting to see how we've leveled off in the amount of coins we've been taking out, right? In ETH. And ever since we turned it to the 3.33 ETH callable every 60 minutes, right? So 3.33 ETH every 60 minutes versus when we were doing 3.33 every 8 minutes, right? So slow down like crazy. But in my opinion, we needed that amount of buy and burn, especially when it comes to how many coins actually were coming to the market. And now that we are seeing the lower side of inflation coming in, I'm much happier doing a very, very solid number of buy and burn and consistent. And I would much rather see the buy and burn last longer than be more aggressive in buying and burning up TitanX right now, especially when we have so much price inflation shock in the future. This is very important when it comes to how much dollars we have when that time comes. I would much rather have a crap load of dollars in there when prices shooting up and then we're pushing even harder, right? And there's been tons of days where we've actually been net deflationary as of right now. So it's going according to plan. This is why I got my coffee. Yawn in crypto, smooth in crypto. It is so cool to see the amount that we've been leveling off in the price, kind of creating a floor price. I'm really hoping my video uh last Tuesday kind of called the floor. We've been hovering barely over it. And I think in the future we are going to consistently be pushing up. I'm hoping, right? But if the math the way I see it, we should be able to do that. But nonetheless, it is what it is, right? A ton of people are in a lot of these telegrams, right? We have over 13,000 people in our project, right? So I can't wait to hit 14,000, right? And we're slowly growing, right? More and more people know about it every day. And at the very least, it's on their radar, whether they get in or not, right? I know a ton of people on Twitter know about TitanX. They are just not in it, right? And at the very least, us being in the back of their mind is the most important thing because once we have a couple green monthly candles, people are going to be jumping and flocking to TitanX. And I can't wait until that time because I know it's going to come. And that's why I'm so bullish on the future because when the maths the way this does, time will tell and it's all about how much time it takes. And Bitcoin hasn't even done its halving yet. All these projects haven't even been released, right? All we've had was Dragon X and Titan Legends, and you know Jake X, right? I'll pull it up. Jake X hasn't even been put on the Titan X hub. I do not know what the you know amount of help it does to Titan X, right? Obviously, its main liquidity pair is Titan X, which that's awesome. But it nonetheless has had its drops, its rises, and there's no actual burn mechanisms on it. All it is a meme coin attached to Titan X. So, the most people can have is which I like. It's an anti whale coin, right? 2% max, right? So 17,777,777. So yeah, a lot of people didn't see it. I'm gonna be honest, Franklin. It snuck yesterday. I saw it. I did not want to get into it, in my opinion, because these things can rug so quick, and I just didn't even want to try it. Although it was a little bullet I could have put in there, but it's all good. There's gonna be more. There's gonna be more gains to have. This is the first meme coin, and I think a meme coin with more stuff coming tokenomics wise is the most important thing in my opinion. And it's going to be very, very crucial in the future, right? Especially if Jake X is unrenounced and everything. So it's definitely in the future going to be pretty pivotal. Hopefully, it's unrenounced and left to the community instead of people having keys to it. So as of right now, it does have keys, but it will be renounced. So who knows? So Marco said, "Yay, let's go." I appreciate you being here, Marco. Good morning, Titans. Good morning to you, Jeremy. Um, cheers, everyone. Shout out Duke. Appreciate you, dog. Truckin' boy, when next meme coin on TitanX? Supposedly, there's one called TitanX coming out. White paper tomorrow, possibly 2 to 3 days after that release. So we'll see. I mean, I have no idea. And meme coins are crazy. I'd much rather see, you know, a lot of these very crazy good protocols coming out. And as an FYI, I will be doing a King X and Titan X market live stream in the future. So please DM me or hit me on Twitter of questions to ask. Even put them in here. I appreciate everybody for doing that. The amount of people trying to join live streams these days is uncanny, right? And when I was doing my channel early on, I would average like one or two viewers for the most part. And this ecosystem and project and protocols have been nothing but, welcoming to me. And they really do show a lot of love. And we have a ton of projects coming out in the near future for Titan X. And I'm super excited. Dragon X has been a very good first project being released on Titan X. It has done a crazy amount of numbers when it comes to how much Titan X it has got off of the market. And with that 1 to 0.95 parity that it has right now for the mint ratio, it has pulled away just a bit, right? Just a bit. So if we do the math over here, so we go 0.12345, 1, 2, 4, 7, 4, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. So it has a 1% difference right now. So imagine when the ratio gets even crazier, right? And I'll bring it up, right? Again, the white paper shows, right? We're on week 3, which is a 1 to 0.95 ratio. By the time we get to week 12, at the end of that, right, it'll be 1 to zero point 0.5 for week 12. And at the end of that, there'll be no more Dragon X minted, period, right? And that's super bullish. It'll be net deflationary from then on. There'll be no more minting, period. So it's going to be awesome. Um, so we'll be continuous pushing up, right? But let's hold on. But the thing is, right? King X, right? I'll pull up the white paper as well. King X has a aggressive 17-day uh ratio. So basically the same thing as Dragon X being a 12-week. This is 17 days of minting. And after 17 days, it is going to be fully deflationary from then on. So I like how it's going to be a very deflationary early, right before Dragon X, and 17 days is so much faster than 12 weeks. And although it might have its drawbacks, it has its pluses too. So it's going to be awesome. King X, TitanX market is going to be huge in the ecosystem, and I can't wait to put a live stream out with them. So let's just get into some comments real quick. TitanX will do at least 1,000x during the bull market. Have you heard of DripX, and how does it compare to TitanX? So I have heard of DripX, and it compares pretty similar to TitanX, but nonetheless, it is going to be run on Binance instead of Ethereum, and it has its drawbacks and stuff, but it should be okay. I mean, as long as it doesn't rug and stuff, it should be a pretty solid project. I like TitanX a lot better, but there's more stuff going to be built on TitanX rather than DripX. Um, Same, I saw it yesterday, but with it launched, thought it was a scam or something, so didn't get in. Me exactly. I did the same exact thing. I did not want to get in it because if you buy stuff like that, sometimes they can hack. So I just didn't even want to even bother with it. Even though I have a cold wallet and this and that, I did not want to mess with that at all and just get hacked or something. I don't want that. Shout out Robert Smith Fitness. Love your work. Appreciate all you do. I appreciate you, dog. Yeah, we like talking about TitanX. We like talking about the ecosystem, and nonetheless, it's going to be crazy. Hashtag build on top of TitanX. Shout out you, Sergio. X Factor. There's a TitanX community Twitter Spaces happening right now. Yeah, I didn't know that. And here, let me just look at it because who's oh, Plan A is doing it. Yeah, well, we're doing a live stream. So this is basically more so just to put a video out. I didn't do a video yesterday. Did you invest in JakeX? I did not. Thought about it and kind of wanted to, and obviously the FOMO of not doing it hit pretty hard yesterday and today, but nonetheless, right? It's okay. I'm not tripping at all. It's going to be pretty cool to see more meme coins be put out, and um, yeah, they do a live spaces every Sunday. So um, yeah, 100k x. Yeah, well, right now, depending on when you got in, well, it's not 100,000. It's not 100,000x. Let me do the math real quick. So it was 130,000%, but that's 100. That's a 1,300x. So not 100,000x, a 1,300x. But you were capped in the beginning at 17.77 million, and so that's roughly right. It was the same price of Titan X, right? So it's basically 5 zeros, 1 or 6 zeros, 5 zeros, 1, and So I mean, at the peak, right, it would have been crazy gains, but you could only put like 20, $15 into it. So it does have an anti-whale mechanic, so crazy. Too many protocols for me to get involved in all of them, so I keep main thing TitanX accumulation all the way. Yeah. It's tough to want to it's tough to diverse all of your money into different projects, especially when so many of them have so much of the TitanX they want to get off of the market. So it's tough to do it. Easiest gameplay long term is just hold Titan X. I think that is the most bullish thing, especially with everything being built on top of it. Right, it's a layer one on a layer one, so it's on top of Ethereum, but all these other coins and projects being built on that are layer twos. So I'm just kidding. Yeah, all good. No worries, Franklin. Yeah, mind blowing. Hi from Dubai. Where do you see Titan X in 2024? Your prediction? Uh, so I mean, February is going to be a massive month. I think February, March, April, right? A lot of these projects are going to be released by then, right? And they should be if they want to be in before the Bitcoin halving, in my opinion. I do not want to do a price prediction. I have no idea. I think it could be absolutely crazy if we do see the hyperdeflationary aspect really kick into Titanx. And so I think, in my opinion, if I did a very conservative estimate, we could see a 10x for sure, right, by the end of beginning of 2025. Um, that's just dropping off 1 0, right, going up to four zeros, 1 2 6 2, right, from here. At least four zeros, one, solely because it's going to be massive the amount of projects being built and how many Titan X they're actually taking off the market. I think that's one of the most bullish things we could absolutely do. And it seems like, Dragon X is only one of them. And it's been very, very helpful in doing that. So that's, if I could put a price prediction, that's what I would do. But I think it could go crazier, but it could also be less. So I have no idea. The maths and over time, 2,000 days from now, the price floor is going to be so much higher, and I cannot wait for that. Do you still believe Titan X will go deflationary around day 300 or much sooner due to all these protocols being built at the moment? Yeah, I still do, because with how much Titan X is coming out in the next 90 days, for instance, right? And for the next, all the way to November 2024, right? There's days that are, it's slowly dropping. If you see how thick this is versus how thin it gets over here. And all of this from then on is the miners being started right now. And it is very, very thin in some of these areas. And it gets thin right here. So as long as we still have slow adoption, we have protocols coming out that help the inflation of the coin, drop the inflation of the coin, plus the amount of miners getting started in the future, right? If they're less profitable, quote unquote, right now, then it's very, very bullish with the amount of coins that we won't have come out past the 280-day mark, right? And we're only at a day 100. So 180 more days until we have the biggest, most amount of inflation that we will ever see, period. After that, it will forever and always be less, no matter what, right? Which is the most bullish thing. There will never be more inflation than we will have on day 280, right? And we have a couple days where, right, it's a crazy amount, right? So that big wick right there is 3.56 trillion tokens coming out, right? And that's 2 trillion tokens, 2.2 trillion tokens. That one is 2 trillion tokens. So after that, right, we will only have a few more trillion token days come out. And if we have all these projects really moving and grooving and doing what they're meant to be, this is going to be such a coin shock on how much are coming out that there would be only one way to go. only one way. And I'm super, super pumped because this amount of coins is just gonna be shocking how much not only other projects are gonna eat up, but our buy and burn is gonna eat up over time. And you know, as we're sitting right now, we have 10.5 trillion tokens, right? But this has only been 3 weeks of one protocol, right? Technically two if you include Titan Legends. So one, let's say two protocols, because I don't want to give them no credit. Two protocols we have seen 8 trillion tokens being completely taken out of liquid supply. I think that is so bullish. It's going to be awesome to see when we have 10, 16 protocols being built on top of it. And even in the future, right? Let's say we have slow growth and growing and growing and growing, but with the amount of protocols coming out, imagine if this gets to 100 protocols being released on TitanX. Just imagine, right? Thought process. So we have one or two right now, right? We're gonna have 16. Imagine when it's 100, because it's inevitable, right? If we keep growing and doing what we're doing, it's gonna be, all of these things. Not to mention everything on top of Hyper, right? When Hyper comes out, that's also a layer 1 on a layer 1 basically, and that's also a launch pad to all of this stuff. Dragon X has already said they are going to be launching on Hyper as well. Titan Blaze is going to be launching on Hyper, right? Titan Liquid Staking is going to be on Hyper. So we have stuff built on top of TitanX, which is going to help lower the inflation. We also have stuff built on top of Hyper, including Hyper, that are going to be helping inflation of TitanX. So it's going to be massive, the amount of burns and buy and burns and minting by giving trading your TitanX for this other coin happening. And there's all of that is a perfect storm to absolutely be a massive player in the future. So I still believe it will go deflationary, fully deflationary around day 300 or much sooner, depending on what the protocols do and where they are absolutely pumping with the bull market. So a lot of stuff can happen from now until March of 2025. So um, today is the birthday of Pragya, and they are all also watching. Let's celebrate and buy more Titan X. Yeah. So I wish I could, let's just say Pragya and Kusum. Shout out you guys. Happy birthday. I appreciate everybody for watching, viewing. Um, all the projects being built on Titan X, supported by Jake, the developer of Titan X, question mark. Uh, a lot of them are. Um, a lot of them are supported by him, and he's talked about a few of them in my live stream that I had with him and other live streams. And he wants to be more vocal on which ones he really likes and you know and which ones he supports. Right? I mean, he supports everything being built on top of Titan X as long as it isn't a rug pull and and it grows with Titan X and it burns Titan X. If it helps TitanX solely, that is the most important thing. Do all the projects being built have an audit and are developers vetted, trustworthy? Thank you. So if you go on titanxhub.com, right, and I'll put this in the comments for people to see. Um, so if you go to that, I just pinned it in the comments, right? If you go to this, it says, right, Dragon X price, launch date. Here's the white paper. All of the project links, category, right? Utility and derivative, burn category, Titan X liquid, liquidity pool, Titan X slash Dragon X, docs. Yes. So, and in your, let's go to the Dragon X white paper. It will have, or let's see, let's go to King X. So over here, right? Let me go smaller. So over here, right? Most of them will have it on their white paper if they have been audited. So the audits and contracts will show you, right? This project will undergo 2 audits by SB Security, and here's the ats, and so it shows what they will be, and after they do get the audits, they will release the audits to show you what's up with them. So very important. Go on titanxhub.com and it will show you exactly what they've done and if they've been doxxed, right? Having being doxxed is pretty important. At least put a face to it. You know, very, very big thing. And liquidity pool, this is the most important thing. It has to have TitanX as the main liquidity pool. And, Pyro protocol, for instance, right? It's Pyro ETH, right? But the burn category is you need TitanX liquid to do it. So, um, yeah, so very important. And it shows in the future what is going on for the amount of burn that it does have, in my opinion. And nonetheless, just make sure you take your time, go through the white paper, check out Mike Dean's website. It really helps. So, December 2024 for TitanX is going to be massive. That's when everything will be rocking on all 4 cylinders. 15 projects will be launched on top of it, and multiplier bonuses will be over. Burn, baby, burn. Couldn't agree more, George. It is going to be massive. I'm so bullish on what we're doing and what we're pushing, and the amount of price potential by that point is crazy, in my opinion, if we have all this stuff releasing. So I couldn't agree more. A token of JKX built on top of that TitanX was shared by Crypto Audit King. And have you checked it out? Is it legit? PS, I didn't see anything shared by Jake himself about the meme poem. Yeah, so I haven't I was talking about it earlier. It's going to be, I have not seen anything. I do not want to co sign any meme coins until I see, uh, you know, a lot of them won't have an audit, right? This is strictly get in and hope, right? I did not invest in it. I didn't want to, but it's nonetheless, it sucks seeing, 26,000% return. But at the end of the day, it isn't one of those things that I was, wanting to get into. And it just shows with how much people are FOMOing in right now where we are. I mean, with meme coins, a lot of the times it's just exit liquidity for other people. And I think it's nonetheless a cool project. And I'm glad it did so well. And its main LP is TitanX, which is really cool and just kind of creates a little more stickiness. So, my brother GP telling me to ask you why he should buy/invest in TitanX. So I can't say why you should or shouldn't buy TitanX, right? I'm not here to say shilling anything, right? On top of TitanX, I just like the protocol, right? We are going to be net deflationary in the future. We have 16 projects being built on TitanX currently, right? 2 of them have been released. It's going to be pretty interesting to see in the future. So I'm not saying you should or shouldn't buy TitanX, right, or invest in TitanX. That is not for me to do. I'm not shilling anything. I just love talking about TitanX in this project. There's a ton of stuff being released on it, and we're going to continue to push. So I can't tell GP to do anything, and I'm not a financial advisor. So it was shared yesterday. It did a great run and still going. Yeah, it did. I'm just not into it personally. I like the memes. I like where it's going, and I hope nothing but the best. But at the end of the day, I can't be in every single project. And we got a lot more projects coming out in the future that I'm gearing up for that I think have some real utility and real growth potential. So yeah. So I mean, if you guys have any other questions, are they marketing both on Twitter and Telegram regarding TitanX? I mean, they are, right? They're mainly just doing their own thing, very low amount of tweets and stuff that they've been doing, but they do have a Telegram and whatnot. But it's all good. Any other questions? I just wanted to jump on here for, 40, 45 minutes or something like that. Um, got in JKX, made money, cashed some out, and launched more than 280 miners that end on November 11th, 2020. His price prediction in December 2024. Yeah, so I don't know if you were here, George. I said it could possibly uh by that point, I don't like doing price predictions in my opinion, but if we have all these projects doing what they're doing, it could do a 10x, right? I mean, that is very easy in my opinion, the possibility. If we have all the projects doing what they're doing, hypers out, right, shoguns out, I think that is very doable, and I think that's very awesome if we do that. So um could it go crazier? Yes, but could it come up short of a 10x? It easily could. So I have no idea. I'm glad you made some money in Jake X. That's awesome. Um, yeah, it says launched more 280-day miners. I thought you launched. My first initial thought was you launched 280 miners. That would be insane. That's a lot of miners, and there's some people have done it, so I can't say it's impossible. Um, yeah, but you know, let me know what you guys think. Put some comments in the comments section. The amount of bullishness I feel for TitanX, that's why I have to jump on the live streams. I have a crazy amount of live streams coming in the future. Some really awesome people, like I said, TitanX Market, King X, right? I have a potential live stream with Crypto Awesome. That's going to be sweet. Shout out Awesomely, right? Crypto Awesome. We have a potential live stream with Benito. I don't know if you guys know about Benito, but Benito, Ali Kane, in a week or so, I'm going to have a live stream with him in regards to Titan Wars, which is going to be crazy. And it's gonna be nuts, right? We have so much bullishness in the future that I cannot wait to do so. George Reed, mathematically is very likely possible, but hey, it's crypto. Don't know for sure. Anything can happen at any point. Absolutely. Crypto is crazy. It can go past your expectations and it can fall way shorter than your expectations as well. Nonetheless, we are building some great things on top of Titan X, and the amount of projects that we have coming out is so bullish, and they all serve a different purpose, right? If we pop in here again, right, the category, utility and derivative, NFT, utility, gaming, utility to be announced, right? To be announced, utility, NFT, utility and derivative to be announced, right? So if you guys are trying to build something, make it make sense with where what we need in the thing. So there's a lot of coins that are going to be pretty similar to other coins and stuff, and that's cool, and it all in all helps a great deal. I just want to see some really great projects that are different, that are going to have a different aspect of what we should do in regards to how to build TitanX even more sticky. I want this. If we have ETH and TitanX and everything being built on top of TitanX, I want TitanX side to be so heavy that it pushes up Ethereum. That's my goal and what I want to see. I want it to be such a powerhouse on Ethereum, right? And we're top five uh projects being built on Titan on Ethereum, right? We're top five. 100 days in, and we're top five still, right? Top 20 from the beginning, top 10 for most of the time, and we're at top five now. So it's amazing to see with such a young project being 100 days old, how much bullishness we have, and not only in the community but also in the developers, right? And it shows, right, with all these live streams I got coming out, what we can possibly do and what we're gonna do in the future. So yeah, unless anybody has any other questions, I'm gonna hop out of here in the next 30 or so seconds. I appreciate everybody for being here. This has been a great live stream. Just wanted to hop on and do a little bit. And in the future, with all these projects coming out, I want to do a live stream for my daily update. I think that would be the most bullish thing. I think being able to go over all these projects. Right now, it's easy just to put out a video on just TitanX, right? It's just TitanX, right? But once we have 16, 17 projects being built and being put out, I think doing a live stream and talking about all of them might be the best thing. And then obviously all of the live streams get put up as videos as well. So it's best of both worlds. Um, Great stream. Thanks for the update. I appreciate you. George Reed, I appreciate you. Thanks, Smooth. So we are grinding, we're growing, and we're improving. Slow growth is better than no growth. TitanX is just getting started. 100 days in. Happy 100-day birthday. I appreciate everybody. Uh, till next time.